start.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here and welcome back to Total Recon, the show where I take a look at games under development. And you might be thinking, oh hang on, this isn't a game under development, this is just a Minecraft mod that you're running. And oh, you're turning into a Minecraft channel, you're one of those now. No, actually, this isn't a Minecraft mod, this isn't a Minecraft skin pack or anything of the sort. However, it is a very convincing Minecraft clone. And a very good looking one at that. This is Creativerse. Creativerse is a new game that is still quite under development, although the same could have been said about Minecraft when it was first released. And it's interesting because the developers themselves have told me, when they sent me this copy, that this is very heavily inspired by Minecraft. And, well, look at the world. It does, you know, minus the HUD changes, it very much looks like Minecraft, with a nice skin pack and maybe some shaders thrown in. And you can very much make Minecraft look like that. But this is entirely a different game. In fact, it's running on a totally different engine. This isn't a, I believe, not a Java-based engine anymore. This is, I think, a form of Unity, actually. But whatever the case is, it still has the same block-based building mechanisms. You still mine blocks and you still use them to create other things. And of course there's still wildlife around, and the game is very nicely stylized. In fact, the characters themselves, I'll just show you here, aren't the Steves of the world anymore. They kind of look very, I want to say, kind of like, you know those Miis on the Nintendo Wii? Or even, the Xbox. I think the Xbox has avatars that look like this. They are basically like that, and this is the armor they've got on, but if you just have a look at the base character, it just looks like this. There are female characters as well, but they aren't implemented yet. They're coming soon in the next upgrade, so they're definitely not pulling an Ubisoft and saying, oh, women are too hard to animate or anything. Definitely nothing of the sort. Let's just put all the armor back on, because we don't want to die. Right, so now, there are a few differences between this and Minecraft, and chief among which is, aside from the art style, like this sort of arcane-looking machine is your crafting table, and the crafting system is all within game. You don't, you know, gone are the days where you need to Google things in order to find out how to build them. In this, the items that you are given are all separated into different categories, and you can find the recipes right here at the crafting table. So if I want to build another crafting table, I just click on it, and it shows me the items that I need. And actually, it also tells me how I can get them. So torches, it shows moss, and it shows cragwood, and it even shows you what it looks like. So looking around the world, I could probably look around and find it. And then there are the processors. These are, in the past, in Minecraft, you would have to take a wood block, break it down into sticks, and then break it down into slabs, and then break it down into... and you get the idea. In this, you do the same thing, but instead of doing any of that, if I take a wood block, it'll show me that I can break it down into slabs. So if I do that, it'll give a certain time to craft the item, and then I can collect it. Basically, this replaces the whole process that you would have used before of having to recraft the item several times. It just takes away that and just replaces it with a time counter instead. And then if I want to make rods, I take the wood slab again, and I break it down one more time. And this is sort of like the final product, unless you discover anything after that to use with it. Anything that's ghosted out, of course, can't be reprocessed, so that's another thing to take note of. And this is how everything is sort of done. We build the items that we need, and then we craft new things. And let's see, if I want a table, just simply craft it here, collect the item, and just as you would in Minecraft, open the inventory, put it down into the hot bar, I suppose, and place it in the world. And there we go, we got our table. So, crafting in this game, very, very similar to Minecraft, but a far more intuitive system. And I think that was the aim of the developers. They were trying to take Minecraft and improve on the problems that Minecraft had. Minecraft, of course, as much as I like the game, it wasn't a particularly good-looking game, but it was more than just the graphics, was the fact that it was not intuitive to play at all. As a new player, it's very overwhelming to kind of figure out what you need to do, and just building your first house can be a very tedious process without doing frantic Googling and searching up wikis and all that. So, intuitive crafting system and intuitive gameplay. It's already got a few plus points, I would say, above Minecraft. But the basic principles are still the same. The rest of the world seems to be very similar, if the style is a bit different. So right here we actually have character, and rather we have an animal of some sort. This is actually called a leafy. So if I switch to combat mode by hitting tab, I bring the sword out and I can actually aim at it and see what it's called. Now a leafy is sort of a harmless creature, but for the purpose of demonstration I am going to kill it. And they drop these little loot bags which have items in them. So in this case we've got sinew and bones which we can use to craft into other items. The combat system is pretty much the same as it was in Minecraft. In other words, it's sort of very click spammy, which is unfortunate because I think that was one thing that they could have definitely improved on just a little bit in Minecraft itself. Because Minecraft, of course, click spamming is not particularly interesting, although combat, you could argue, was not the main focus of the game. Ironically, there are, of course, PvP mods and PvP servers, but there you go, people enjoyed the combat system for whatever reason. I just think that it could have been made more interesting. Now, the whole world is, of course, is a very cutesy kind of thing, but as is similar in Minecraft, the evils of the world, if you will call it that, come out at night. And all the cute creatures that you're looking at right now have a much darker side, and they have a nighttime variant of themselves, which is decidedly quite evil, and decidedly quite evil looking. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and when night falls, show you exactly what I mean.
Night gathers, and so my watch begins.
In Creativerse, of course. I'm actually watching out for evil monsters, and what you're going to see right now is that suddenly this cutesy environment has suddenly got... Jesus. It's suddenly a lot darker than it originally was. Now, if you have a look in the distance, all those little piggies in there are now these glowing, almost Tron-like things, and the leafies have one too. They've got this glowing skull marking on their face. It's horrific. It's just, yeah, the creatures become absolutely horrifying at night. And this, all of the base level creatures, I'm talking about the pigs and the leafies, which are the ones you see running around quite harmlessly during the daytime, all have these sort of dark nighttime counterparts with these glowing stripes and that. And there's these crabs in the trees! Although in the daytime you do see them, but you don't see them as often. And it's just, yes. They drop pretty much the same things, I think, as the daytime ones. I've not noticed too much of a difference, but yes, they do come and attack you at night. Also, if you don't have a floor, which I do, if you don't have a floor, creatures can actually spawn inside here, so... But interestingly, there is a separation between wall and floor in the crafting menu. And I'm not sure why, but it's there. Just have a look. Rockstar. Oh, I do need to kill these things, actually. Oh, shoot, shoot. You know what I said about the combat being not so interesting? What I actually meant was, it is very similar, but I think the enemies have more variety in their actual abilities. Like this, they have this ability to shell up, and I suppose you have to wait for them? Whoa, okay. And some of them have charge up abilities, like the one I was talking about that was like an Enderman. He has this charge up, and it releases a flash, which makes you unable to attack for a while, which is interesting. Scary, but interesting. And yeah, these are the horrors of the night. Enjoy. Now that that's over and done with, I do want to point out a couple of other things as well. When we talk about mining blocks, now, in Minecraft, of course, you would first off begin by putting together a bunch of wooden tools, which you would have gotten by punching a tree for a while, getting the necessary materials, and then building a wooden pickaxe, a wooden sword, and so on and so forth. This game does it slightly differently. Now, you might have seen this sort of Day 1 Gary's Incident arm piece on my arm, and Well, without referencing that awful game too much, anyway, this is how we collect items. We actually pick up blocks by simply gathering them up like this. I might be thinking, oh, that's not very fun, is it? You know, we want some sort of challenge, some sort of... And, yeah, I agree with you entirely. That is why, instead of just having magic doing this, which if you've seen games like Windborne, how they did it was very similar to this. You just sort of magic your way to picking up blocks and that. This is actually a upgradable piece. So if you have a look at here, we can't actually mine the stone. We can mine the earth, we can mine the dirt, we can't mine the stone. And the reason is because we need to upgrade the fuel cell for this particular piece. So in this case, I've got access to a wooden power cell. So I'm going to craft that. And what this does, it works exactly the same way as the tools in Minecraft did. Did I pick that up? Yes, I did. And all we have to do now is pick this power cell up and slot it in. I'm not actually sure where we see this now. There it is, on the left. So if you have a look in the bottom left now, we have a wooden power cell there, and this drains as we use it. So now I can pick up the fossils over here, I can go over here and pick up the stone even. And this is useful up to a certain limit. Of course, you can't mine every single thing in it. You can mine up to stone and certain types of minerals, but, for example, bedrock is something we can't mine out yet. As you can see right there. Is it bedrock? Yes, that's bedrock. Limestone as well is something we can't do. Additionally, there are some minerals that require the use of extractors, so there are machines and things that we can actually build. There's an extractor over here that we can have a look at, and I'm going to put that down. So put it up here. I'm not exactly sure how to use the extractors, but from what I can tell, some minerals require the use of them, so I believe you just put it on top of it if it's a mineral that's compatible with it. But there you go, so that's how the tools in the system work. Instead of having to craft, you know, wooden pickaxes and then stone and then iron and then steel and so on and so forth, you simply build the fuel cell instead of that particular grade, and that kind of replaces all of the materials. So, essentially what I'm saying is, all of the tools have been kind of compiled into one piece, which can be a really useful thing. And I suppose it kind of streamlines the process as well, because you don't have to carry all those in your inventory. Additionally, I will like to point out that anything that's equipped, for example this sword, is no longer taking up space in my inventory. Neither is the armor or anything on the hotbar down here, which I presume is because it's on some sort of tool belt. I think that's the only way of really explaining it. But it doesn't... If I put something here, it's in my inventory, but if I put it onto the belt, it no longer is. So, I suppose that's how it does it? Again, I could be completely wrong. But it seems to be that way. But one thing I have noticed is missing at the moment, or at least in this current build, is any form of hunger. There doesn't seem to be any need to eat. In fact, if I stand here for days on end, I'll be fine, aside from the monsters that will attack me at night. But from what I can see, there are plantable and growable objects, like this sapling. Same as what you had in Minecraft. If you cut down the trees and cut through the leaves, after a while you get a sapling, which you can plant over here. Additionally, there's beeswax, and beeswax is used for making this lovely thatched roof that I have over here. And this is the queen bee that you sometimes get from destroying the beeswax or the honeycombs, which are up there. I think you can actually see some of them from down here. But they grow up all the way up in these trees, and you can actually get this, and it'll grow another hive. I'm not sure if this is actually going to do it, but it's supposed to. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Now, there's similarities everywhere, and I could go on for days kind of talking about the actual similarities between this and Minecraft, because there are a lot of stark similarities. But it has its own style, and I think as far as how it goes right now, the game is still far from finished. But there's, looking at the way it's laid out, I've even found my own version of the Enderman, actually. There's a creature called the Miru, which is very similar to the Enderman. He's similar powers, I think, but I haven't seen him teleport. But it is still scary as hell to fight them. But yes, they are definitely looking to, I suppose, carry on what Minecraft left off with. And if you're somebody who's, I suppose, bored with maybe Minecraft mods. I think Minecraft mods is probably what's keeping the game going for now. But if you're not particularly excited about continuing with Minecraft mods, especially now that I suppose development on Minecraft is coming to an end, with Microsoft taking over the reins, then maybe this could be a worthy successor. Oh, and one more thing. You can't really get lost anymore. You can always teleport back home. Hello, Leafy. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Panzer taking a look at Creativerse. It's a very interesting looking Minecraft clone, and perhaps maybe a decent successor to it. One worth keeping an eye out for. I'll see you next time.
Ultimate.